Good morning, everyone. It's J Imaginary Dreams with another book opening, and these are the books of Vonn, who mainly sketch with charcoal. And these are some of his previous books, and the one that we will be opening today is first an extra card add-on, but his fourth book that I have not opened just yet. Since it's not just about his book, but I want to go through his other 4 books. Wanted to do this video for quite a while, but I thought to wait for the 4th book before we look through the 3 of them. First, he made this sort of card. I feel like this is a first time, and then this would be the first time as well that I realized that he has a YouTube channel, and he has a couple of live streams for you to take a look, and of course there's an Instagram account, but the main ones are Patreon and his shop to see more prints if you like. First off is the packaging. Though most packagings don't come this beautiful, as all of his Kickstarters, you would have one of his artwork printed on the cover itself. Though strangely enough, as you can see with these tapes on the side, it seems that it has been put through quite a lot in this delivery shipping, and I would believe that it's on my end. So the packaging here is quite good. Inside there are small foam tips, foam to sort of protect the book and other goods. Now for these cards in particular, I cannot open them because this is actually for a friend of mine who wanted these cards. I did not at the time have the funds to purchase these cards, only wanted the book. So a friend of mine wanted these cards and paid for them, and he requested them not be open for this video. Though when I meet him later, I might ask for another recording to have this be open and show the other illustrations of the cards inside. Though as you can see, even through the harsh delivery and transportation, the edges have been nicked and torn just a little bit. Though at least the cover itself, I suppose, will not be damaged thanks to this very thin paper, and it's quite a beautiful paper as well. Though sadly I did want it to sort of secretly open, but this is not those paper tapes that can easily be like taken out. These tapes would definitely tear, and I know that because I've tried, and since it would tear, I do not want to sort of open it. With that said, before we get into the 4th book, I do want to go through and showcase Vonn's sort of art sketchbook progression over the years, and talk about some of the artwork that I personally really like. So here is a sketchbook from 2013 to 2014, and before we even open these books, and we'll see the 4th one later, there's a clear progression of complexity in the cover of the book. I don't know if this was on purpose, since I believe he started making, I got the book from this version, 2015 until 2016, and then I got these 2 as a package, and I got this one separately, I believe. And so with the design layout of the books, it slowly got more complex, and I would expect the last one, the latest one, 2019 to 2020, to be the most complex, which will be very, very interesting. Of course I know what it looks like since I've seen the Kickstarter, but just based on these books so far, that is the trend. So for people who do know his artwork right now and modern sort of year, it's already a clear sort of separation between like this current book being a little bit more study involved of the general human anatomy compared to the more fantasy-like drawings that he makes. And I put this bookmark because this is sort of one of my more favorite artwork within the book that I like to come back to see from time to time. And we'll skip ahead to another section that I quite like, which is right here. Really like the design of this rabbit, his sort of nose, action looking out, and then the general pose that he's sort of like rather strong looking for a rabbit. And then later on comes in the 2015 until 2016 Sketchbook 2. And this is where I think I also got to know his artwork from this illustration right here, where there's just hands coming out of the person and just many hands all around. And I really like this piece quite a lot. And from other artworks that somewhat inspire me as well, just gives me a few ideas of wanting to mix and implement sort of certain design wise together to create another narrative that I hope to create later on in the future. But let's go to the front of the page as well. Another great illustration as well, very detailed. The one thing is that I noticed is that there's no real index or page layout, even though after flipping through the whole book, there can be sort of sections that maybe sort of divide like the book into sections if people want to search for something in particular. But without pages, it also helps maybe indicate that Vonn would like the viewer to just flip through the book and that there's no single page to be able to sort of hint like, oh, go to this particular page. Just simply look through the book and absorb the whole thing. And then here is another sort of bookmark that I like to save to see this art painting as well that I really like. And a very nice back cover as well. I forgot to show that. And this is the other one. And also, as you can see, the book size has definitely increased, and with each new book it has increased even more. And then let's see the back side as well. Just very nice gold reflective sort of touches right here. And then also the gold edges on the page. See the front, first edition. Again, no pages, no index at all, just go straight into the book. And so now it's like some sort of human studies, but then even at the beginning there's just more and more sort of fantasy like sort of imagery I think I can describe. But the studies still, of course, don't end. It's just drawing more, basically. And then from the previous photo that I really liked, from the previous book, comes another version within this book that I enjoy quite a lot as well. This is another bookmark that I set for myself that I really like this art piece as well. Just how there's just no body and just the fluidness of it all. It's quite beautiful. And then this one is another one. And then this is sort of the story behind it, I think. The collector, and just so many more hands all around. Then this sort of ring of keys. And then it just spends so much time just looking through all of the detail. So as I said about the index, like this part could sort of be seen as a bird section, but then Vonn decided not to do that. And then there's another section within this book as well that I think is newer if I remember correctly. Let me try to find it, where it's like a small tutorial about his sketching process, and then showing the difference between what he thinks is stylized drawings and then something that is more to realism. If I remember correctly, it should be around at the end of the book, but that seems like not the case. But sadly I cannot find that particular page anymore because I was just looking at it right before doing the recording and now I couldn't find it again, which is a shame. But we're now finally at the main event, the fourth book by Vonn. What is Vonn art? Sketchbook 4, 2019 to 2020. So let's get into it. We see one side of the painting or drawing right here. Then we have the back side of the book, it seems. And then this is the full painting, or the drawing, sorry. Keep getting it mixed up. It looks almost like a mixture of many drawings put into one to create this wrapping paper. Just looks really cool to see. And then here we have Volume 4. So if you already know the Kickstarter campaign that this is the cover, certainly not a surprise, but it is a differentiation to the previous book, and as well much thicker as well. For volume 4 is around 190 pages, while volume 3 is around 160 pages. So sketchbook 4 is 190 pages, while volume 3 is 160 pages. So around 20 more pages. And then these small gold leaves is quite a nice touch. And I feel like I would like this cover much more than the more complex version in book 3. It might have been just a little bit too much. And so going back to possibly a slightly similar style to book 2, but still taking up the edges with her wings here and much more contrast. I think this is sort of a nice fit. But it really depends on like the book, I suppose, and the contents inside. And then that's the cover of the book. Ooh, quite nice that we sort of see the general shape of the head, and then there's an even larger circle around it like a halo. I don't know if this is on purpose or randomized, but this is the first bookmark from the book itself. And it's quite a nice spot. Both artwork is just very stunning. And then the next one, maybe it's supposed to be saved in this part, who knows. But the next page is quite nice. This is the same character from the previous book, right here. The same staff and lots of animals. Ori and the Blind Forest from the video game, and other video games as well. And then Crocs. Interesting. Is that a real drawing or just a JPEG? Interesting. I suppose I'll just go through the Drawtober and then end it there. Or I still feel like it's still better if anyone watching this to still get the whole book compared to other book openings that show all the pages for the most part. And I'm quite confident that there will be another sketchbook maybe we'll have to wait a little longer for time to pass for 2002, 2003, 23, 22, 23 to pass before we see another one. Maybe. Still have more studies. Even though now this book is just loaded with fantasy artwork. And here seems to be various covers of the book, possibly. I'll skip ahead. See what's in these random pages. That's quite nice. And then draw October 2020. Let's take a look. Like a Pinocchio character. A more traditionally drawn person. Just nice contrast there, looking at each other. Ooh, like chibi mini art style, very anime inspired. And these are some digital sketch drawings. And about the artist. And that is the end of the book. Again, I suppose it's fair to see like all of the pages. I suppose you have to like try to get the book to see for yourself. But it is, and as the goal of this video is to sort of show the art progression of this artist, Vonn. And I hope you sort of enjoy the artwork as much as I have. I can fit this in frame. I'll just put it down here. Well, even though I couldn't open the pack of cards, After the first recording, I went through and looked through the book myself, but appears that some of the artwork of the cards are already in the book itself, which I missed. So I'll go through some of these artwork of the cards since I cannot open the cards myself. Just look at all of that. Quite amazing illustrations. And just how the hands wrap, and it's almost like interacting each other as well, instead of just sort of a straight up mirror. It's very cool to see. Again, with the hands crossing. And it's almost like each of the heads have their own sort of group as well. Their own story, their own backgrounds. And then here we have the jokers. And that's it. Though I was looking for certain pages that I would want to bookmark as my favorite pages. So I'll be looking for that page, and we'll be right back. There's just so many to choose from. I do like how this one just goes over to this next one. And then the quote here is, it really is quite something special. But maybe I want to save to look back from time to time. And sadly, this book may be too big to find the second point. But it's interesting that it's here, and I don't know if it's on purpose either, since it seems that the bookmark is here to then get you to turn the page. But I think I'll leave it here first, just for the quote. As many as amazing art there is, quotes and words just hold a lot more meaning sometimes. Well, for now, this seems like a nice second spot with another pretty good quote. But I think the reason why I'm selecting this is that it kind of feels, at least to me, that there's a connection between the two. That in your head slowly becomes in your way, like art block or whatever thing mentally that sort of is stopping you from doing the thing that you love. And then it sort of connects back here, that it's not to lose the battle with that thing. At least that's my sort of interpretation to connect these two. And maybe I'll find like another bookmark as I look through these pages. There's still so many artwork for me to just look at for a longer period of time. But I'll leave my bookmarks here for now to remember these quotes when I think about them. But that's it. Hopefully I'll have time to make more traditional artwork to share in the near future. And I will see you all next time. Bye for now.